Good game, Kwab. Good Sunday game.
So that's a solid game, fun
There's
game.
two solid teams.
Two interesting East teams.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get into it. The Cavs beat the Bucks 118-113. Donovan Mitchell with 24 and 4, leading the Cavaliers in scoring. Evan Mobley 23, 9 and 6. Sam Merrill 17 points, 4 3-pointers on 9 attempts. Giannis had 40, 14 and 9. AJ Green 20 points, 4 threes, and Ryan Rollins got the start. He had 14 and 8. Now, once again, a lot of players missing on both ends. Max Strus was out. Darius Garland was out for the Cavs. For the Bucks, Porter was out. Who am I missing? Who else was out?
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony was out, who's been really good for the first two games of the season. So both teams missing important pieces, but the Cavs get the victory. I thought it was a well-played game. I thought both teams played well. It's the third game of the season for both teams, and I thought both of them actually looked like, I wouldn't say mid-season form, but didn't look like it was the third game of the season for both teams. I thought both defenses played well, and even though they were playing well, I thought both teams were making shots, difficult shots. This game kind of changed when the Cavs matchup zone and started doubling Giannis on the wings, and the Bucks didn't really know what to do with it, and they turned the ball over, and the Cavs were able to build like a double-digit lead. The Bucks kind of came back when they started running the ball, and Giannis started working from the top of the perimeter, and when they became more sure of themselves and working the ball around and hitting the gaps with, conviction, that's when the Bucks started looking good, but they dug themselves a hole too much for them to kind of overcome. But I thought it was a great game, man. I think these are two teams that I think are going to be around in the Eastern Conference playoffs past the first round, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. We also both kind of had Giannis as a low-key MVP favorite coming into the year, just because we think that people are not really talking about the Bucks as they should be.
Yeah.
Going to this game, I had those two matchups. I was like, actually, I'll take that back. There was three matchups I was excited to see. Obviously, it was Giannis and Evan Mobley being the one matchup. I was like interested to see that. The other being, I wanted to see the AJ Green versus Sam Merrill matchup. It went well. That went well. You know what I mean?
They both shot their asses off.
I mean, it went well because those are the type of players you need to be effective. Like Giannis needs spacing, obviously, and having space, having shooting on the Cavs. The one thing the Cavs do, they get paint touches. They spread out the ball, and they get a lot of shooting. So, yes, the AJ Green and Sam Merrill matchup was one thing I was also interested in. The third matchup I was interested in, and it didn't happen, was the backup point guard matchup with Lonzo Ball and Cole Anthony, and that didn't Cole Anthony being out. But big fan. We've if you follow this podcast, we're both big fans of Lonzo Ball and the way he plays, the way he moves the ball, the way he makes like the little plays throughout the course of a game. And to me, he did that this game. There was a couple of like just little nuanced things he does throughout the course of the game where it might not show up on the stat sheet, but they make a huge difference. Like just getting the ball, pushing it up, like just stabilizing the offense when it feels like it's getting out of hand. To me, the one point in the game where the Bucks made a run in the third quarter, because it felt like the Cavs were about to do another Cavalanche and kind of take it away. The Bucks made a big run in the third quarter. I would say that if I'm from a Cavs perspective, I would be a little bit worried about the defensive communication because it doesn't feel the same way as it did last year. There's too many stretches. Like since I've watched the past couple of games, there's too many stretches where the communication seems off. And granted, this comes down to being they don't have their full team. Like it's not their full team. When they do have their full team, if you were to look at this box score, you see a very deep team that is still missing key players.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a difference moving forward. On the Bucks side, Giannis was Giannis, as always, like just dominant.
He had 40 points, and I thought Evan Mobley played well against him.
I
thought Mobley was fine.
And I agree with you, too. Like,
and
I
Garrett
think
Allen,
Mobley
too,
did
in
a
the
good job.
beginning, I thought he was fine. Mobley was, in the paint helping out. I mean, he blocked his shot in the beginning. He also blocked a jumper of his in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look at the stat, like, oh, he had 40? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was an effective 40. Like, it wasn't a bad 40. So, he was still dominant in that fact. The Bucks have a very interesting team because they have a good, like, in terms of they've gotten younger since moving away from Chris Middleton and then Drew Holiday and also Dame. Like they have a different young pieces, a lot of shooting around Giannis now, even with signing Miles Turner. And there were a lot of moments during the game you're like, oh, this is what it's gonna look like if you're going running how they want to run and playing the way they want to play with AJ Green hitting a bunch of shots. Gary Trent just chucking up the ball like he usually does. He didn't have a good shooting game, but he's always there to put up buckets. But like you said, this feels like the Bucks are gonna be at the end of the year. We're gonna be talking about the Bucks when it come playoff time.
Yeah, I do think they need another playmaker. Maybe that could be Cole Anthony. I think that's kind of what they lacked today.
Yeah.
A lot of it was kind of basically they got buckets off of fast breaks, like when they started turning the Cavaliers over and when they went zone. The Cavs had a little trouble with that. They seemed kind of unsure of themselves. Even when they get the ball in the middle of the paint, they were just kind of like, oh, what do we do now? It caused some turnovers there. The Bucks got out and ran, and they got buckets there. When it wasn't really working for Giannis on the wing, when they would double him, the thing that kind of was interesting was because the Cavs were allowing that one pass away. Like they would just basically, it was like a soft double.
Yeah,
they would have the entry pass to Giannis, and the guy closest to Giannis to the ball would basically soft double Giannis, daring Giannis to pass it back out.
Yeah.
And sometimes Giannis would, but he would wait like 4 or 5 seconds and then like, fine, I'll do it. And then by the time that happened, it was like Miles Turner, he'd miss a three. Like it wasn't like snap decision. Once the Bucks started like putting Giannis at the top of the key and he was penetrating and the ball was moving around and they were getting the Cavs in rotation, that's when they came back.
Yeah.
So to me, like if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm looking at this tape and I'm like, all right, we got in trouble when we held the ball, whether it was with Giannis or not. We got to make snap decisions. We got to play faster and we got to attack and get the defense in rotation because that's when the Bucks really looked good.
Yeah.
And I guess some of that goes to your point with the Cavs too, where it was just kind of like maybe the defensive communication was off. There were some defensive lapses there, but I thought for the most part, I thought they played good defense. I thought both teams played good defense. I thought both teams played well.
Yeah.
I think Donovan Mitchell had a good game, a good fourth quarter. Evan Mobley had a decent offensive game. He looked unsure of himself from time to time. He didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but when he was aggressive getting into the paint, I thought he looked good there. I just think these are really two good teams. I think the Bucks are better than a lot of people think they are, especially in the Eastern Conference where, right now it's early, but the Hawks and Magic don't really look that great, even though, records, it's 3 games. It's not like I could be like,
yeah. It's been a couple games.
But I think I know what you're getting with the Bucks, and I do think, at the deadline, depending on what moves you can be making, salary and all that type of stuff, if they can get like another shot creator to go in that starting lineup, that they could be very dangerous. That was the vision with Dame, right? You bring in a point guard who can run the pick and roll, create his own shot. The Bucks can be tough, but until then, I don't see them being in contenders. But they definitely are one of the better teams in the East to me.
I mean, is the ball handler shot creator? Would that be Porter?
It could be,
yeah,
because he can create his own shot, and he's fast. He plays fast. If I'm a Bucks fan, that's fine. I want to see them run more. Yeah. I want to see them run the ball. Obviously, you got to turn the ball over and you got to grab boards to do it. But that's when they were at their best today. It was when they were running the ball, when they weren't waiting on offense and holding the ball. Even Giannis can bring the ball up, but don't just pound the rock. Even if they're in a matchup zone, try to break it and then get it in rotation.
Push the tempo. Yeah.
I mean, the Cavs did that all game. The Cavs are very disciplined on offense. One of my favorite things about the Cavs is they really take bad shots. And if it is a bad shot, it's like Donovan Mitchell. It's like, oh, it's Donovan Mitchell. Sometimes he hits those.
Yeah.
So, to me, I think that was pretty much the difference in the game to me was that second quarter where the Cavs pretty much built that double-digit lead because the Bucks didn't know what to do on offense for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was like they looked kind of lost. And like
aside from that, it was a pretty even game. Like the Bucks had that big comeback because the Bucks went zone, and then the Cavs didn't know what to do for a couple minutes, and then it was pretty even throughout that. I just think Cleveland's a deeper team, and they run more of a equal opportunity offense, if that makes any sense. Anybody at any time can pretty much get you, and they were able to pull out the victory. But the Cavs home opener, pretty much what I expected. I expected them to win this game. Bucks kept it close, but at the end, I think the Cavs, the better team, won the game.
Yeah, I agree. Cavs felt like the better team throughout, even the stretches where the Bucks were able to make a run. I do want to see what they look like. Well, both teams, but I do want to see what the Bucks look like when your guards are healthy, your main guards are healthy.
Yeah.
To see if there's a difference with Porter starting and then Cole coming off the bench.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it will be.
Because
Ryan was fine, but there was no creation with Ryan Rollins. He had 8 assists, but it wasn't like there were a couple things like off the pick and roll that he did, but it wasn't. I can't explain. there's a difference in assist, right? There's an assist where you just pass the open man and he hits it, but there's an assist where you literally break down the defense yourself.
And then create, and
Right.
then it leads to. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, this is why this show is called The Dime, guys. Well, I know exactly what you're doing. I think Porter can bring that element when he's on the floor. Cole did that the last game. He was just pushing the tempo, getting the ball forward, and making plays. I think it can make a difference. Like you said, they easily could play faster, especially when you have Giannis. Like,
No one could stop him on the break.
Yeah.
But you got to get stops.
You got to get stops. And that's going to me, that's going to look kind of scary if they're playing like with tempo, you're moving the ball.
Yeah.
Like you made the point, even if Giannis is not holding the ball during possessions and making quick snap decisions, that makes him a very, very dangerous team all around.
Yeah. All right, well, the Cavs beat the Bucks 118-113 in a Sunday night matinee. Kwab and I will be back tomorrow all week. This week, we're starting our live streams on Tuesdays, so look out for that. Our power rankings will be dropping Fridays, so look out for that. And if you have a question or a comment, send it into the YouTube comments. We're going to do a dime bag segment, basically questions that we're going to answer, so look out for that as well. You can follow the Dime everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab AKS. We'll see you next time for the episode of the Dime. Peace.